Can you dig it?
Totally dig that the Bulls win the season opener.
I dig it. I dig it big time, buddy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits. First Bulls post-game edition of the year. Bulls get a big win in Miami, 116-108.
That was exciting, man.
And for anyone that's interested, the Bulls covered both the over and the line tonight, so they did cover. So plenty to talk about with the game.
Yeah, this is kind of how we felt after the first playoff game, or the second playoff game when we beat the Bucks.
Stokes, what's going on, brother?
Remember how excited we were?
Yeah, look,
when they beat the Bucks.
Yeah, look, some of their Heat players didn't have a great game. Like Lowry did not have a great game, right? But look, there's so many directions to go with this one. I'll start with Io.
Start with him, man.
Io was huge.
116-108, man.
Io was aggressive. He definitely did not play like a rookie. He looked like an NBA point guard tonight. He was aggressive. He was distributing the ball. He took charge. He was talking to players throughout the first half. So I think Io's one of these players of the game. Look, you were missing Zach and you were missing Zoe tonight, but Io stepped in that role incredibly well tonight.
I think you got a couple of players of the game, honestly. First half, Io for sure. Dragic as well.
Went 4 for 4 for threes in the second quarter.
Yeah, so I mean, those two guys alone. I mean, Vooch, look at them. Look at the rebounds he had, man.
Look, Vooch had rebounds. Offensively, he had an off night. I mean, he was like he was like 1 for something, but he hit that big three in the fourth quarter.
That was huge. That was huge. So me and Carl had one disagreement in the fourth quarter.
Third quarter.
It was the third quarter.
End of the third quarter.
DeMar was hot. DeMar at the end of that third quarter had 3 guys on him, and he shot the ball. He almost made it though. His field goal percentage was extremely high. I don't even know what it was. It must have been like 80%.
The Bulls shot like 70%
for the night, man.
The Bulls shot like 70% in the third quarter.
Yeah, but DeMar must have shot like 80% for the game. I swear to God. But that's where I freak out about DeMar. Yes, he's hot, but there were like other people open. That's what I don't want to see. Look, I don't want to see that.
The other plays in the third quarter, DeMar was finding guys open in the third quarter, even though he scored all those points. Yep. He found other guys open. I don't know how we saw Vooch coming down the lane for a dunk. So he was finding guys. That last second shot, there was 5 seconds left when he got the ball. He hadn't set in his mind he was already going to drive. He almost made the shot. So I don't have any problem with him taking that last shot. But if you watch the whole third quarter, the ball was moving. DeMar found guys open.
You are right. He had 9 assists. I only didn't like that one shot, man. That was it. I think sometimes when these guys get extremely hot, it's almost like I got to test how hot I am.
It's a heat check.
Shot. Yes, it's a heat check. Sometimes those heat checks bother me, but what? Okay, so what did you like about the offense in general this game?
Look, it took them a half to kind of look. The start of the game wasn't the greatest. Miami came out hot, right? I think Tyler Herro got.
He was 3 for 3 or 4 for 4.
Yeah, like in the first half, he couldn't miss.
I think the first quarter, actually.
Yeah, and the second quarter, it looked like almost like the Bears, right? They came out in the second half. They made adjustments. They were the aggressors because they were tied at half. They made that run at the end of the second quarter to tie the game. They actually had the lead, and then the game half ended up tied, and they took that momentum into the third quarter. And they just blew past Miami in the third quarter, outscoring them by 10. So, look, overall,
let's see if it shows by quarter on here.
They outscored them by 10 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
because they were tied at half, and that's kind of what turned the game around. So, look,
Yeah.
that third quarter, DeMar got hot, but it seemed like whoever went into the game at that point played well, right? I mean, literally, DeMar like
I wonder what the turnover was, because I mean, if you're looking at the stats here right now too, Miami shot better free throw percentage, better 3-point percentage, and better field goal percentage.
the Bulls only had 14 turnovers. Miami had 19.
Okay, that's a huge difference. And I think our defensive intensity was looked pretty good. We were doing a great job of getting into the passing lanes, anticipating. Sometimes, you know, we were getting a little slow on our defensive help, but the intensity was there. That was missing like almost the entire second half of last year.
Well, look, part of it is still, I think that they're still missing. They were still, especially in the first half, they still couldn't get on the 3-point shooters. They made some kind of adjustment at halftime,
Okay. Absolutely.
and the defense was definitely better. Now, look, everyone was complaining at the beginning of the game that Zach wasn't playing.
Yeah,
Like,
let's talk about that a little bit.
I think the only thing that frustrates me is that Donovan's been saying this whole time since the preseason that Zach's healthy, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we hear that it's pain management or knee, like knee injury management or whatever the heck they called it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was a little frustrating. Let's see what Skokes has to say here.
Yeah, Skokes on Twitter was was saying, I want Dalen to take some minutes away from Pat.
You know what, Skokes, I think you're right in that. Look, Patrick Williams, for a guy that's supposed to have a breakout year,
Although he's saying more than Kobe.
Storm, what's going on?
Well, what do we have here, Storm?
Storm, I told you I wasn't worried.
Carl's often wrong.
Look, the one thing about Patrick Williams tonight, I wish he plays with Io's intensity. That's something you just can't teach
On offense? Because
in general.
I see he's got passion on defense, man.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Not tonight.
He did.
You didn't watch the whole game then. Like, I'm telling you, like, he had moments where
he's too passive. He's too passive on offense.
No, both sides. If you look at his game compared to Io's, Io did not take a play off. Patrick Williams, like, both sides on the offensive and defensive side, he's passive.
He's passive on the offensive side. He's not passive on the defensive side.
Well, he got scored on quite a bit on the defensive side tonight.
You are wrong.
Okay. Look, Storm.
Who was he guarding? Tyler Hero? He wasn't guarding Tyler Hero. Who was he guarding?
Storm's completely right. You can't teach that. You can't teach that intensity. You just can't.
No, you just get you. Come on, anybody can learn how to hustle. That's bogus.
No, that's not true.
That is true. That is absolute bogus. You are wrong. 1,000% wrong.
Look, if
anybody can learn how to hustle. Anyone.
You can learn how to hustle.
They've got to find it in themselves to do it each and every play.
Well, then I'm waiting for Patrick Williams to show up with that ability to hustle.
Well, on offense, he's
Storm's. I agree with Storm.
He's wrong, and so are you.
Skokes,
1,000%, man.
Listen, if that were the case, everybody would play like Caruso and Javante on this team, and they don't.
No, they don't. Yeah, because they choose not to, but they can.
You're telling me
it's absolute fact, man. It's a fact. It's a matter of their determination. It's a matter of the psyche. That's all it is. I like how you yeah. You guys are both wrong. Yeah, Caruso, he can do it. If Caruso can find that intensity, anybody can.
I don't even know who you are right now.
What do you mean you don't know who I am? I know that you can find intensity in anybody. Anybody can pick that up. Okay, what did we think of Drummond when he came here? We thought he was going to be a slug. His intensities, showing. A lot of
Okay,
people said he's like a slug.
listen.
What
When
about Vooch? What about Vooch last year? People decimated him about how slow he is, and now all of a sudden, oh my God,
listen,
he's showing it now. So, to both
listen,
of you,
being slow and hustling are two different things. They're completely two different things.
doesn't have to be. That's not true.
Okay.
Quickness.
All right.
We could keep on going on forever. Drummond
See?
is not an oaf. He's a good player. He could be a double player. He's shown it on other teams. You are wrong. Boom.
Storm was right on this one.
Drummond, that Drummond is an oaf?
No, on this one, on this comment. Drummond got a technical late
that you can't teach how to hustle. Yeah. Okay. Okay, coach. So the next time you have a kid who just is not showing their intensity, you're just going to give up. He can't do it. Right.
No,
that is
no. You're mixing up two different things.
No, I'm not. It's the same thing.
Look, every single kid that I coach, right? You're right, has the ability to hustle. What I can't teach them, or what I can't take out of them, is to teach them to do hustle on every single play.
No, it's got to be an internal thing, but it can be done. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying with Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams, we have yet to see that come out of him.
I truly don't think that you're equating him being passive to not hustling. I don't think it's the same thing.
If you look at Io's game tonight,
I'm not comparing Io to Patrick Williams.
But here's my point. Last year, and they mentioned this in the broadcast tonight, last year Io was passive. He wasn't taking certain shots. He wasn't as aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tonight, or even in the preseason, right? This is a different player. He's aggressive every single play.
I like it. I like how he's driving to the basket and making smart decisions instead of turning the ball over, bringing the ball back out and passing it to the open guy.
And
because last year he would drive the ball and have a turnover sometimes.
And that's kind of what I'm saying.
But he's more intelligent. Io hasn't changed. He's just become smarter. So maybe a little more confident.
So we've had Patrick Williams now for what, 3-4 years? Right?
Yeah, and what, a year and 3/4 hurt or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the difference that Io had in one off season compared to what we've had in Patrick Williams in basically 2 or 3 off seasons.
I'm not. Io has definitely shown better improvement. No doubt.
Yeah. But I'm still waiting. Like, there was a time in this, especially at the start of fourth quarter, mm-hmm. Patrick Williams should have been one of the leaders on the offensive side.
I think you're right, Storm.
Right? Yeah. So,
yeah, I don't know. You know what? Dragic was showing a lot during that game, man. Dragic moves the ball pretty well.
The ball moved pretty well, period.
Yeah. No, I mean,
tonight,
that was great. That was fantastic. I was actually surprised that they won that game.
I didn't have a doubt.
You did. Whatever. They.
That's just for the record. Just for the record.
They typically lose to Miami. They don't play very well to Miami. Miami did not look good, and maybe it was because of their 3-point shooting was a little bit off. But our defense, I'm saying our offense played better than we ever have against Miami.
Well, the first half, Miami was shooting lights out from three. They were really good from three in the first half. In the second half, those shots weren't necessarily falling in the second half.
Wouldn't you say the Bulls were closing out a little bit better the second half? I think they were doing
Uh,
better jobs of getting of helping out on screens
uh,
and getting back on their man. I saw that a lot the fourth quarter.
I think in the third quarter, the fact that they were the aggressive offensive team threw Miami for a loop because once the Bulls went up, I want to say it was like 6, maybe 8. You could start to see the panic and the heat. Like they were throwing up shots um, that weren't falling in the that were falling in the first half. That
What did
all of
we
a
miss
sudden
out
wasn't falling.
on? What did we miss out on Max Struss or Struess?
Uh,
That guy's a ball player. I'd rather have him than Kobe White.
Tonight, I would have rather had Kobe.
Just tonight.
Well, look,
Oh man.
Kobe showed me something tonight.
Yeah. What did he show you?
Kobe showed me tonight that he's accepting whatever role he's given, and he knows he's got to shoot the ball. Kobe tonight in the
Well,
game.
he definitely did put up some shots. He was
Uh,
1 for 6 the first half, I thought.
Kobe, no, Kobe had 10 points, went 2 for 7 from the 3-point line, 36% overall. But look, he did what he was supposed to. He came in, he shot, he gave you 10 points off the bench, right? That's what you're asking for from him, right?
You're asking for, well, we're hoping for better than that.
Look, you are hoping for better, but
Yeah.
10-point double digits from Kobe off the bench, I'll take it.
No, I mean, I'll take it, but I want better shooting than that. Honestly, he's considered your best sharpshooter. That's what we've been looking for from him since he's been here. He could get hot, and then there's times when he just stinks.
Well,
Tonight
like I
was
said,
okay.
Tonight he came in, he did what he was supposed to do. Was he perfect from the field? No,
Yeah.
but I mean, considering what the other guys shot from the field, I mean, 2 for 7 isn't great. Io was 3 for 6. Caruso was 1 for 6. Vooch was 1 for 5. Patrick Williams was 0 for 2 from 3. DeMar was actually really good, had 2 for 3. And Dragic was 4 for 5.
What was DeMar's field goal attempts and made?
He was 14 for 22 for 63%.
That's amazing.
He
Even
wasn't
three ball.
He wasn't great from the free throw line. He was only 7 for 11 from the free throw line. But
that was great. That was great when Dragic missed those 2 and then Struess missed those 2.
Yeah. So
I love that, man. What do you think about the refs during this game?
For a first game, I thought they did pretty well. I mean, they were catching a lot of the offensive fouls that Miami didn't get called on them last year. They were definitely calling those.
Yeah, Twitter was complaining a lot about the referees.
We're not sure yet, Storm. We're thinking about it. We're debating about going to the game or not. We're kind of playing it by ear and see how things go right now.
How about you, Storm? Are you going?
If you're at the game, we'll definitely have to meet up with you, Storm, if you're at the game, and we're there on Saturday. Yeah, look, I thought the referees were, for our first game, I'm not going to complain. I thought they were pretty good. Again, they a lot of the offensive fouls that didn't get called on Miami last year were definitely called today.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think of Billy D's "You'll be in the house"?
Storm, we're going to have to get in touch with you if we're going to be at the game. So
he's going to be at his house, man.
In the house, but that's okay.
I don't know which one that means. What do you mean? What'd you think about Billy Donovan's rotations?
I like the rotations. I think in the fourth quarter, I think he rode the hot hand with DeMar in the third quarter. You and I were going back and forth. At one point, I liked that lineup they had with like Dragic, Io, Javante, Drummond, and DeMar.
I did too. They gelled nicely together. Drummond's a decent passer. He's obviously, when there's a give and go between Dragic and Drummond's taking those terrible uh, off the backboard shots. It's like, geez, that's
There
ugly.
there was one
But
play they almost connected on a given goal, which was pretty sweet, but that connection I think is just going to get better as the season goes on. Um, you know, Drummond, I think that when he got the rebounds, um, when he was getting
yeah,
the
the
rebounds,
bounds.
he seemed to be unsure because some of the guys on the out were so hot tonight, like DeMar. Like he
Hmm.
think he was unsure if he should put it back up, if he should look for a guy on the outside. He seemed to be a little unsure of what to do. I think when he gets those rebounds, he's just got to go straight back up, and he starts getting that mentality, and he gives
Jeffrey,
you Jeffrey. What's going on?
how you
Um,
doing, bud?
let's see. Let me see what Drummond had. So Drummond had 5 rebounds, 3 offensive. Amazingly, he went 5 for 5 from the line,
I
2 for
know.
7 from the field.
I know
Um,
Casey Johnson was telling everybody like, "Hey, he's shooting this percentage so far," and I was like, "Shh."
yeah, look, if he's more aggressive, I think going to the hole and getting more free throw opportunities, I think that's only going to help the Bulls. I mean, look again for an opening night, 5 rebounds, 9 points.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he's a big body for the other team to deal with. They have to exert some more energy guarding him. Now, yes, I agree with Storm. He's going to have some ugly shots, but I'll trade that off for some more offensive rebounding. And if I mean, he moves pretty quick for a big guy.
uh,
I was pretty impressed. He was
yeah,
coming out guarding the perimeter, and helping on D, and then going back to his man. Better than Tony Bradley.
yes, for sure. Look, I think him being on this team and a team that you know I think is projected to do well. I think he's kind of gelled really well with the chemistry on this team. On some of the other teams, like the 2 teams we played on last year, there were some big egos on that team with Joel Embiid, and then going to play in Brooklyn with
Yep.
Kyrie and KD. There were some big egos on that team. He doesn't have that here.
Uh,
DeMar and Zach are superstars, but you don't see the big time egos that those guys have.
so what was not a pleasant surprise, but people were like, "Wow, Dragic shoots threes. He's actually got a pretty decent average at 3-point field goal percentage
Well,
for his career."
he got lucky
Yeah,
on one tonight.
I saw that. But overall, 36.2 percent over the course of his career. Man, that's pretty darn good.
Look, he went 4 for 5 tonight. Did you say at the beginning of the season you wanted him to start, or did you want him on the bench?
I wanted Pat to be on the bench. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And I
And
and I
Patrick
think
started tonight.
he did. I still
Yeah.
think I'm right. I don't think he should start.
Well, let's see.
I-
Patrick Williams was 2 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from threes. He only grabbed 2 rebounds, had 1 steal, 0 blocks, 1 turnover. So
Our turnovers weren't that bad.
we only have 14 for the game.
I like Dragic on that um, second unit.
That second unit with Javante, Andre
It's
Drummond,
it's an intelligent basketball unit, I'd say. Despite you
they,
guys saying he's Drummond's an oaf.
well,
Yeah, that's a good point. What are the plus minuses? You got that
uh,
up? I had it up. I already closed it out.
Patrick Williams was a -4. Nikola was a +16. DeMar was a +13, obviously, and Iowa was a +15. Javante was a +8. Dragic was a -9. Drummond was -8. So, you
Hmm.
know, all the starters were positive except for Patrick Williams. So say what you want about his defense.
I'm just yeah, I'm just saying I don't think he's not hustling on defense. It looked like all the Bulls players were hustling on defense. except maybe that first quarter. They were not playing smart defensively with the perimeter guys. We always
You
get
know,
cooked at the 3-point line.
Jeffrey, I don't know where there's going to be a good spot for Patrick Williams. Maybe it's to stay in the starting lineup because when he was running with the bench in that fourth quarter, and he should have been the primary offensive option, he wasn't very aggressive.
No, and I don't understand why. I don't get it. The last preseason game, I know we were playing against the Bucks third unit. He seemed to be at least going for the offensive rebound. He was making cuts, unless there was a slightly different game plan today too. Donovan seems to be running this kind of almost like a 3-man weave with the ball.
Yeah, look, Patrick. There was a couple times even Stacy even said it. Patrick could have gotten some easy layups on the fast break, and he didn't hustle on those plays.
And is that what Stacy said? Patrick Williams, the big guys got not hustling?
That's exactly what Stacy said in the game.
Or is that what you were?
Stacy pointed out at least 2 plays where Patrick Williams could have been out on the wing and could have gotten an easy layup or a dunk, and he just didn't run.
It makes no sense. He's talented. I don't understand. He's got to drive the ball to the hoop. He's got to realize that he is a massive body that can get to the hoop and draw fouls.
But this is kind of what we were talking about before. You can't teach that. He's got to want that.
He can do it. We've seen it before.
I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying he's got to have that mindset that he's got to be able to take it to the hole. He's got to want to take it to the hole.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do it for the Bulls.
Yeah.
He may need a change of venue.
I like what Jeffrey says there. Hustle never takes a day off.
That is absolutely true. Caruso is amazing. I mean, I know he had some turnovers and all, but that guy's intensity, his hustle is phenomenal. When he threw the ball up to Drummond and Drummond missed that dunk, which I don't know how he did. And then Caruso came back and stole it. I forget from who. And just giving up his body on picks when he got when Desmond got called for an offensive foul. That guy must have so many bruises after he plays game, but he plays every game hard. How can you not do that when you see that? But you can't teach that.
You can't.
You can't teach that. You can't.
Okay.
Me. Beaker from the Muppets? That's what I feel like.
Beaker's one of my favorite characters from the Muppets. I kind of look like Beaker. I look like Dr. Mellon.
You look like the chef, man.
Dr. Mellon. I practically look like Dr. Mellon.
Dr. Mellon, man.
The guy that works with Beaker.
So we hear Zach may not even play the next game.
He's not going to play the next game.
Was that? I thought that was like only iffy. Did I miss?
It's a back-to-back. Would you rather have him play at home on Saturday, or would you rather him play on Friday night at Washington? That's a no-brainer. He's not playing Friday. It doesn't make any sense to have him sit tonight and then have him play a back-to-back. That makes zero sense.
So Billy, just like it makes no sense to me how you can't get someone to learn how to hustle. It's the same thing.
All right. Well, we'll see. I don't think he's gonna. He's not playing Friday.
I'm bugging you about this. It sounded like he wasn't, but it sounded like Billy said this was not unexpected. Well, it was unexpected to most of the Bulls fans.
It didn't seem to bother the team. The team seemed to know what was going on. They went out there. They beat Miami pretty handily.
Yeah,
and they did what they needed to do.
That is something that we've already done better than we did last year against some of the top teams. If Miami's a top team,
Jeffrey, this is a different time and age, right? I mean, no one plays back-to-backs anymore, especially the top players.
It's the beginning of the season. That's why some people were like flabbergasted, like this pain management.
Yeah.
He absolutely had he absolutely tweaked his knee. So it concerns me.
I'm not worried.
Just like you said with Lonzo.
Lonzo will be back.
Yeah, 9 months later after you said it'd be all good, man. All right.
Look, the season started. We won game 1, right? We've already beat a top team in the East on opening night. The team looked good overall, right? Look, there's still work to do, but overall,
so who took Zach's minutes today?
I'd say it's mostly Io. Let me look at the minutes played.
Well, Io starting guard, Dragic. I'd say Dragic played a little bit more minutes.
Io played just as many minutes as DeMar. Io played 36.
Yeah, so I don't. What did Dragic have, man?
Dragic only played 18.
Well, they were expecting him to be around 17 to 20 per game at his age.
Well, Kobe played 24. Kobe played 24.
Okay, so I bet Kobe took some more of his minutes.
Well, yeah, because he came in for Caruso pretty early in each of the halves.
Yeah. So when Zach comes back, I'm assuming Kobe's not getting as many minutes. I was kind of disappointed Javonte was getting into foul trouble. He didn't factor in too much offensively.
I don't think he had to. I mean, again, it just seemed to be within the flow of what they were doing today. I mean, in the second quarter, Dragic got hot in the second quarter. In the third quarter, DeMar took over.
And Io was hot. And then Io was hot too.
And then Javonte had
quarter, man.
Yeah, and Javonte had limited minutes in the fourth quarter, but I think he went to the free throw line on that one attempted dunk. He played some pretty good defense there, so you didn't really need Javonte to really light it up per se tonight. But I guess the biggest takeaway from tonight is like, look, DeMar scored 37, and you're not hearing how, if it wasn't for DeMar's 37, we wouldn't have won the game. Overall, the team played pretty well. I mean, Dragic had 12, Io had 17, Vucevic had 15. So
DeMar only had 8 points at the half, and we were tied 59-59. So
yeah, he had like a 23-point third quarter.
So you are 100% right. It was not just DeMar. I mean, between Io and Dragic in that first half,
Dragic kept us in the game.
Yeah, those two guys alone in that first half kept us in. So yeah, definitely not just DeMar. The DeMar game.
Well, overall, first good game, big win for the Bulls, 1-0. 81 more games to go to 82-0. So we'll see how that goes. Next game is Friday night against the Wizards in Washington.
Man. You be dreaming, man.
I still don't think Zach's going to play, but we shall see. Between now and then, Vic and I are going to have many debates about the whole thing about hustling.
We'll do a whole
video on it.
On hustling. How to learn
how to hustle.
Tune in
tonight. If you have any chances, please hit the like. That definitely helps us out. Hit the subscribe to help us and hit the bell to get notified of future episodes. We do appreciate everyone checking in.
Bulls are back, baby.
We'll see you guys on Friday night. Take care. Peace.
Love.
And digits.